Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Laser Focus Coaching. We're so excited to be things have shifted. They've gone from where we were delivering content live to where in a Facebook Live to where we're delivering it live, but now we get to do this in a Zoom room. The power of a Zoom room is the ability to have conversation. Hello, Paulina. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Sorry, I'm a few minutes late.
No, we're good. We're good. We are just getting started. I'm going to kind of give some of the rules to being in Zoom rooms. So some of you may not have been in Zoom rooms yet. So we want to just let you know that you're getting a sneak peek into what it's like to be an art boss. We are we're giving you the inside scoop. When we work with you guys one-on-one, it's in Zoom calls just like this. It's the ability to get our eyeballs on your business. Now, we know the real world is happening all around us. For a lot of us, it's lunchtime, okay? The dog's going to be barking because the UPS guy's at the door, okay? We're gonna have kids like tugging on us saying, hey, it's lunchtime, okay? So we're going to ask for you to do two things. Number one, we want you to turn on your video because it's just a more powerful coaching experience when we have our videos on, but we're going to ask for you to turn off your audio. And the reason is because, again, the doorbell's going to ring, the dog's going to bark. So I am going to mute everyone right now. But when it's your turn, or if you want us to take a look at your businesses, then we'll have you unmute. Okay, so that's how we're going to work this. So first of all, super excited to see a couple of the new art bosses here. Welcome aboard. We're so excited to have you guys here. And I'm going to call you guys out on this, okay? It's only the new art bosses who have their screens on. Guys, turn on your cameras. Okay, turn on your cameras. If you're not willing to stand out in front of your social media, this is one of the biggest things that's going to help you. Okay, so I'm like, we'll wait. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so I'm not going to kick you out, but I need to see your faces. All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump in, and we have a couple coaches here right now, and I want them just to take a second to introduce themselves. Shauna's here, but I know she's letting in folks into the meeting, so I'm going to give her, I'm going to give her a break right now. But I see Rita's here. I would love for Rita to introduce herself. She's our camera ready coach. Would you mind unmuting and just say hi to everybody?
Hey, everybody. Hello, hello. I'm your camera ready coach. I will help you in any way that I possibly can to get you ready or to up your game when you're doing your lives and your videos. And you're going to be awesome.
Awesome. Because Rita's awesome. She's amazing. We know that how we show up on camera and how we show up on video. So that's one of the reasons why I'm asking you to undo your video can directly relate to how much money you'll make during a virtual selling event. We are here to provide the feedback. Sometimes we're not noticing what's happening in our background, or we may need a little bit of coaching on what we need to be saying. I have words. I don't say I've replaced them with different words, right? But if I can't hear them while I'm giving my presentation and connecting with my audience. So it's super, super great. I know that Kayla Troutman's here too. I think she's popping in and out. So she may be having some problem with her internet connection.
Yeah, she's having problems with her mic and her audio not connecting to Zoom.
Okay.
So she's working on it.
She's working on it because she's our tech gal. So Kayla's here, and she is the person who helps us with some of our tech issues. A lot of time it's a lot of glitching, right? So really what Kayla does is help us get around some of those glitches and really just go and know what's normal and what actually has some things that we can do. So we have a huge team of industry experts that work with us here inside of Team Art Boss. A lot of them are coaching right now within the group, so they're not able to join us, but we're going to go ahead and get your questions answered. There were four submissions in order for us to take a look at your businesses. A lot of them are very big general questions, and I'll definitely get to all 4 of these. And as I'm looking through here, and correct me if I'm wrong, Shauna, I think the only person who submitted who's actually here on the call today, is it Shanae Morris? You're here? Okay, awesome. I thought that was you. You looked familiar. So I'm going to grab Shanae's question first, and then I'm going to go ahead and answer some of the other questions that were here. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to open it up to more of a general Q&A session, and we'll go from there. Okay. So Shanae, do you want to go for it? Do you want to unmute? I'll have, this is how we work. You submit your questions to me and I get to read what your question is. So I can then go grab a training that we have inside of the program. Okay, I'm going to let you, we're going to enable transcription. So I'm going to, so when you, I'm sorry, I had to rethink here. So when we're working together, I read your questions, then I go inside of the membership library and I point you to, a lot of times there's training that already exists, but also sometimes I can do some deep dives. Okay. So I always ask everybody to restate their questions, because you're going to give me a little bit more details with your verbal submission than even your written. Okay. So Shanae, would you unmute and we'll grab you.
Okay. Hi. So my question, and sorry, I'm watching my kid right now too. Hi, baby. So my curiosity is, I feel like one of the biggest hurdles I've ran into getting into the art world is the fact that my clientele that I want to get to is more of a fine art clientele. And what I have noticed just on my own is that a lot of times, thank you, baby, I know. A lot of times what it seems to be is that most of the people that are working within that realm, within those galleries, are people that have gone to art school. And I'm not worried about skill level, because I feel like I've become very skilled, even self-taught. But what I feel that I missed from art school is all of those fine art contacts and how to work in that realm. So how does somebody that doesn't have that pedigree, if you will, of either those higher up connections or those fine art people, how do you break into that business without that background?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me ask you one question. Okay. So are you interested in only selling in galleries, or are you interested in creating your own gallery inside of your own business in your own online website? Let me ask you that. Because you know what I'm going for.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. And that is the big part of what I'm trying to figure out, whether or not this system is for me, is because I am interested in those things, but if I'm being really honest, at the end of the day, I'm also really cool with some of my profit walking out of the door because somebody else is handling it for me. I'm okay with that. I just want to paint. I wish I cared more about the business side. If I'm being super honest, I don't. I hate it. As soon as money becomes involved, I'm out. I'm done. I don't want to deal with it. I just want my art to go out the door so I can fuel making more art. And so from what I've seen is my target audience is that fine art crowd, which is where I've gotten some interest from some personal contacts, but I just don't know how to break more into that. Before finding this, I was looking into possibly trying to find an art agent to just handle all of it for me. But then I was like, I don't even know where to break into this world in the first place. I'm just lost because I'm coming from a place where, oh, thank you, beautiful flower. I'm coming from a place where I, like a lot of people came to the art game late because for some reason it didn't click in my head that artists were even a thing. That was leaps and bounds far, far away from where I grew up.
Okay, let me stop you there because and I'm going to pull Shauna into this because Shauna is actually our psychology of selling coach inside of the program. But I want to and I want you to know when we all work together, we all bring different perspectives. I'm always going to give you strategy. Okay. I'm always going to walk you down the path to the sale. I'm always about linking what you're doing to making money. Okay. So, and then Shauna's going to come in from the angle of like finding resistance, because I'm hearing a lot of resistance. Okay. I'm hearing a lot of resistance. And sometimes one of the best things and biggest things we do that people don't realize they get here is help getting over old patterns that don't get you the results that you want. Okay. So I'm going to talk first about the strategy and the path to the sale. And then I'm going to pull in Shauna to talk about the resistance. Is that okay if we do that? Okay, perfect. All right. So I'm going to ask you, when you said when money comes in, you don't want anything. Do you not want to make money?
It's not that, honestly, no, I don't care. I don't care about money. My partner, I would say, cares more about money. I understand we need money depending on lifestyle. And obviously I have a kid, so I should be making money to provide for her. But if you ask me, Sinead, are you a money person? No, I hate the fact that money has to exist in the first place. Not my thing.
Okay. So making money isn't fun is maybe what I could say, is making money isn't fun. Or is it fun?
Making money, it's not just that it's not fun. I would say my struggle is that on a fundamental belief level, I hate the fact that money exists. I genuinely do.
Okay.
I don't like that we have to have that to make our world function the way it functions.
Okay. Do you need money though? Or are you independent, financially independent? I'm trying to get to whether I can help you or not. Are you financially independent?
I hear you. I am and I'm not. I want
Yes
to
or
make
no?
money
I'm gonna
because
stop
my
you right here.
partner
Are you
wants a bigger
financially-
lifestyle. I do not need a certain amount of income coming in every month personally right now. No, I do. I'm not trying to get out of a hole right now.
Oh, okay. No, not even out of a hole. Like, this isn't about getting out of a hole. It's about living the dream. So I do want to be able to help you. I can help you find your ideal client. What you told me your problem is with your ideal client, we fix that. That's not a problem at all. We help clients sell $7,000 paintings every single week because they know how to find people who exist outside of the fine art galleries who are willing to pull out their money for big ticket art purchases. Okay. So we'll show you how to find those people. I'm going to go to the very core of this, because if you're going to tell me it's real, you don't need to make money or you don't want to make money, that's what we do here. And then I can't help you. Okay. So and you don't have to have the answer right now. Okay. Because you just have to make a decision. And I'm also going to tell you, sometimes we make people too much money and they lose their disability. Okay. Sometimes I have people come to me and then complain to me that I showed them how to make too much money. So that's why I'm asking you this question about the path to the sale, because I'm going to show you how to make the money. But if you're going to tell me that I don't need to make money, then I'm not the right person for you. I still think I am, because I'm hearing resistance. So is that okay if I move you like to Shauna, because I want her to talk about this. And first of all, I want to say thank you, Sinead, because most people won't share at this level. And this is actually how deep it goes in order to help people get to what they want. So thank you so much. I appreciate this 1,000%. I'm going to look around, even the faces that don't have the cameras on, they're going, thank goodness someone else asked that question. Thank goodness someone else did. So thank you. Okay. Shauna, do you want to kind of talk about that resistance a little bit?
Yeah. And I guess, first of all, Sinead, like, I want to reemphasize what Karen said. Thank you for bringing this up. And I feel very privileged to be able to address this, because I was where you were at for years. I felt the same way about money. I had a lot of mindset blocks about just, from the way I was raised. We all have different reasons why we have them. But one of mine was, I just hate that money has to be an issue at all. Like, why does it have to be? Well, once I learned, and it took me a while to make these shifts, but when you learn that money is really just about energy, money is only what we make it out to be. It really is only something that expresses, it's a way that our culture and cultures around the world express the value of something. So when you are standing in front of your art, by not making money part of it, you're devaluing your art. And I just want you to just think about that. It's not an easy shift to make, and it doesn't happen overnight because those things are ingrained in us so deeply. They're actually neurological patterns that are like ruts in our brain, and we have the same thought pattern over and over and over. It takes a lot to break that. But sometimes whenever you have that thought, I just want you to open it up to, well, what if I didn't have the negative thoughts about money? What would I be able to do with my art? What would I be able to do with my business and the money I make from my art if I took money and made it what I want it to be, which is positive and doing good things? Maybe you don't need the money for you yourself, but think what you could do with the money for other people if you don't want that for yourself. So that's where I'd go with that. What are your thoughts on it?
I like how you're framing that, and that's a good way to think about it. I'm lucky that I have some disability payments coming in. I'm not worried about losing those. Honestly, it's through the VA. It's a permanent rating that I have. So basics are covered, and I guess that's where I bulk, because if I was being honest, one of my favorite artists that recently passed away was this old woman who just lived in her apartment and painted just every day, all day until the day she died. But she wasn't really successful during her lifetime. And as I look into artists, I keep saying to my partner, that is almost what I want. But at the same time, I do want to be successful during my lifetime, because the things I want to do, such as traveling to other countries to see, I'm obsessed with color. So to see these color palettes and to put them within my art, I have to make money to be able to travel to see the other art I need to see and to see the landscapes that I want to see. But it is a very hard mindset to switch over, because at the end of the day, I'm like, but I don't want it involved, but I'm getting to the point where I do need it to be involved.
I totally get what you're saying. And and I love that you mentioned, she was making an impact after she died. The fact is, we do not have to wait to make that big of an impact. Now, yes, it takes work to be able to have that impact happen while we're alive, right? Because obviously if you passed, it doesn't matter. but the fact that you can take your art and what you just talked about right there, I love that you're wanting to explore color all over the world. Oh my gosh, that is such a unique selling position right there. You have a built-in message to share with your audience that's going to inspire them. They will value that, which means money. So I'll just leave it at that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shanae. It was awesome, because what you just gave everyone was the power to see that they have to get over money mindsets. Okay. It exists everywhere. It's just part of what we do here inside of Team Art Boss. Okay. Every single week when we have breakthroughs, and we just had our meeting this morning before this time, how many times we talk about money? I mean, it's a lot. So we're here for you. That's what we're doing. So we had 3 additional questions. The folks who posted them aren't here, so I'm going to give more generic answers since we can't kind of give any sort of detail. But Linda Ortiz, she just kind of dropped a comment that said, I need help building my website. And I'm going to say, I spent 3 days in a challenge showing you guys how what your website can look like. I showed you how to build your system around it. Okay. If you're looking for specifics, I totally can take a look at your website and give you a website system audit. It's something that we do provide inside of Team Art Boss, or inside of the Art Boss Business Builder. It's also something you can hire me to do outside. But I'm going to just reaffirm here, guys, if you don't have a website yet, what's the answer? Yes, you do. You have at minimum a Facebook profile. Okay, we can start there, and we can build a system around that where we go out and do virtual selling weekends that can make you thousands of dollars in a weekend. I watch artists. We have 2 artists here leveling up to do their first launches in the next 2 weekends. And one of them is already closed 2 high ticket sales. She's huge paintings. She's already probably closed close to her paintings go for around 4K. She's closed 2 of them, and she hasn't even launched her virtual selling event. So she's going to totally rock it out. And then we have another artist who she sells pet portraits, and she's like, okay, I just posted another post and sold another 5. Okay. And she hasn't launched yet. She's launching this Friday. So we've got you. Okay. We'll show you exactly how to set up your website. If you currently have a website, we're going to show you where it fits inside of your selling system. Okay. So that's the answer to that. It's a really generic answer. Linda, if you were here or you want to pop additional questions inside of the Facebook group, that Facebook group, right? The Art Boss Challenge, we'll get to you, and I'll answer those in more detail. Another person, Susanna Cheshire, she just asked where to start. Like, where do I start? So once again, the challenge gave you need to have a website, right? If you don't have one yet, yes, you do, right? But we'll show you how to build your system around it. Okay. So again, it's really generic, because if you were here, I'd ask you more detailed questions about your current selling system, and then we could dig in a little bit. And then the third question, before we go, I'll just let you guys have some opportunities to chat with us as well. The third question was from Leslie Snyder. And she is asking questions about she's got a retail location. So she's asking questions about how she engages people more in her studio. I'm like, I got you, girl. I totally understand. And I have a studio. I've always had a studio, whether it was inside of a gallery. I've rented spaces inside of galleries until like they capped how much money I can make in there. They're like, you're making too much money. And I'm like, so I'm not allowed to sell anywhere here. And you're going to tell me you're not going to sell my artwork anymore. I laughed. So we got you. We know what it's like inside of the program, because your question is, how do I engage my customers? It's the same way to engage your customers in real life as it is when you're working inside of the online space. We have a formula for that. We have outlines, we have check sheets, we have feature builders. We have all the things that you can do to create a powerful engagement with your customer, whether you're working with them online, in Messenger, in your group, or whether you're working with them in person on a Zoom call, or even if they come inside of your studio. So you're asking me to help you build out your sales scripts, because you're asking me for dialogue. What kind of dialogue? What kind of questions do I ask? That's exactly what we do. I need to know more about your business, what you do, and then we start refining that tool for you, the sales script, so that it is not robotic. Because I give you my scripts and people go, it sounds so robotic. I'm like, yeah, because remember we talked about everybody's business is being different. Well, we'll help you fine tune that and make it not sound robotic. Okay. So those were the questions that we had. It was way more powerful to talk to Shanae than it is just to kind of, for me to be like, here's what you do next. Okay. So that's why we're going to move in. We still have a half an hour. So we're going to move into just opening the floor for you guys. If you want to ask a question, the way that we would do that in this, I can see everybody on one screen. So you can either I have to see your face, right? You can either do this and say, I have a question, or there is also a little hand that you can put up in Zoom. It's under reaction. Yeah, you can see the folks that are already using the hand. That's probably a really great way. Shauna?
I just want to say really quick, and this is just because I'm seeing people without their cameras on. And I want to mention that you guys are missing an opportunity of how our brains are programmed and how our minds work. When we have visual and auditory, and you're taking notes, you're going to get so much more out of this time with us when you turn on your camera. So I just want to encourage you one more time. If you are afraid to turn on your camera, this is the best place to get used to being on camera, because we're all here to support you. We're all here. We get it. It doesn't matter if your house is messy behind you, or if you're like, oh, my hair looks like crap today. Whatever it is, we're going to support you. That's all we're here for. So I'll just let it go at that.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. I am going to grab Michelle Brown and then Monica. Those are the first two people who raised their yellow hands. So we're going to grab Michelle first, and then I have Monica on deck.
Okay. Hello, beautiful.
Hello, lovely lady.
I have a migraine and I was laying in bed and I said, let me go throw some lipstick on so I can come on camera. Okay, so my question is, I'm a new artist. Been painting under, I would say, definitely less than a year. And I actually am selling art. It just happened on a fluke. One of my friends told me she was going to put my something I painted. I text um, usually every other day. I'll text something to my family and friends of what I'm painting. So one of my friends told me she was going to print it and put it on her wall in a frame, and I told her, "No, the hell you're not. You're gonna pay me." And so that started me getting paid for my art. But here's my question. So I'm finding myself having to go to the post office now often. And I was wondering, how is everyone else selling their art? Is everyone going to the post office every other day? Or is there a better way to do this? I'm clueless.
You have a good business problem. You have a good business problem. Congratulations on your sales, Michelle, first of all.
Thank
Okay.
you. I
Okay.
had a stroke, which is what started all this, by the way. I had a stroke last year,
Okay.
and I was breaking a lot of things in my kitchen, and I'm like, I need to childproof the house. And I started doing art because it forced me to slow down.
Okay.
And so now I'm an artist.
Okay. All right. So your specific business problem is you're kind of telling me you're selling too much, right? So you're going to the post office too much. This is what I'm hearing.
Yes,
Okay.
too fast.
Too many times to the post office. And here, I've said this before, we take our clients from where their biggest problem is finding customers to where
Mhm.
their biggest problem is they're selling too much. Okay. So we've got you still. Okay. If there's one simple thing, it's a simple answer. And I'm going to push you on this. What do you think you need to do to have less trips to the post office? You know
I
that.
don't know. Raise my prices?
Yeah. You need to raise your price. You need to raise your price. Yes. Okay. It's hard. There is a process. You have to have the system so that you can raise your price and consistently still close at the higher price. You have to sell less. You spend less money finding your customers and you make more money. This is how you make more money with less work. Okay. We'll show you how to do that. You know,
Okay.
you know. So I think you've already connected with Shauna. I want you to connect with Shauna. Okay. So
Okay.
this is, we've got something for you to get you started, especially if you're a brand new artist. You just may need additional resources to get yourself set up looking like a professional artist in the marketplace. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're going to bridge you. We're going to bridge you to the bigger product. Okay. I want
Okay.
you to be ready to be in the business builder, but that for some of you, you need a resource before that. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Let's go ahead and grab Monica. If anyone else has a question, go ahead and use that yellow reaction. I'll grab you after Monica.
Hello.
Hey, Monica. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for the challenge. It's been great. I have two questions. One is, how many paintings would you need to have before doing a virtual selling weekend? And the other question is about how much time do you actually spend on camera on the selling weekend? And I guess I mean, it's intriguing because of all the sales that people are making, but what are you talking about? What are you doing during that time?
Right. Great questions. Okay. So this actually gives me an opportunity to talk more details about the program. And I hope that's okay if we talk more details about the program. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you're asking me how many paintings you need, and that's a very great question. And it's one of the questions we get when people first come inside the program. And the answer is going to depend upon your business. And we're gonna get to know you and get to know your business. But I'm going to give you some examples of clients that we currently work with. So I have clients like Holly. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Holly, Sandra, they have They have zero. Okay. They sell off of their easels. They literally create a painting, and while they're creating it, it's already sold. And then people are saying, I want one kind of like that. And they literally then sell spots on their calendar. They literally are booking ahead. Okay. That's what works for them. For other artists, okay, I'm going to put myself in the other categories because I worked for art licensing agents for like 3 years, right? So they bought my digital products. I have inventory stacks high. So I don't want to be selling a new painting. I want to sell what's currently in my inventory. That's what I want to do because that's how my business is set up. The function of how I was running my business with art licensing agents. So I typically will only open up a few commission spots, and you have to pay a lot of money for that commission spot. If you want to purchase something in my inventory, it's still expensive, but it's less expensive than buying off of my easel. Okay. So I don't want anyone here to worry about how much inventory you need to have. You don't need any. Okay. You don't need any. If you have a lot, now we're going to talk about how to run your virtual selling event to leverage that. Okay. So that's the answer to the how much. You tell me. Okay. We'll make your business work around that information. And then your second question, I want you to, if you're not unmuted, go ahead and unmute again. So I took notes and it wrote down like, how much time do you need to go live during a selling weekend? Tell me a little, there's resistance there. Tell me a little bit more about what's causing your resistance. I'm going to have Shauna also, that's why I'm asking this a little bit more. Again, I'm always path to the sale, how you make money. Okay. But tell me a little bit more about what the resistance is for, how much time, does it really matter if it closes sales? Tell me a little bit more.
I think it's just, I'm not a big fan of being on video. I've been doing some stuff to help myself get over it, like just doing it. But usually within my coaching program with clients who get to know me, and then it's cool. Or I've done a virtual summit where I interviewed 22 people. So that was cool. But thinking about sitting there, I'm curious how long you're on camera and what you're saying and what the interaction is like. Are they communicating with me, or am I just sitting there talking to myself or to the camera, right?
So I'm just going to tell you about the program, and then I'm going to ask Shauna to kind of talk a little bit about the resistance that we're hearing. So we have what's called a feature builder. We use the feature builder to then determine what we talk about for our talk sheet, right? So we have all the templates and tools to help you build that out. Okay. I'm also going to, before I turn it over to Shauna, just say, you're not alone. There aren't many artists that are extroverts. Of course, I'm going to look around the room. I see one right now, but there are extroverted artists, but most of us are introverts, and it's a business choice that we make, which I heard you say, you're a business person. You understand that you're going to get to the place where it's just easier. Okay. I'm a high introvert, super high introvert, but when I'm doing what I love, you can tell. And when I'm doing what I love and I'm sharing that with my audience in the world, there's no other place I'd rather be than with my friends, even though it has to be in video form. So I'm going to pop that over to Shauna, because again, I think there's resistance here and again, thank you for bringing it up, because again, because I still see cameras off. Those people are going, oh, thank the Lord, someone else asked that question. Okay. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I completely identify. Once again, I spent for over 40 years never letting people take my picture. I was never in a yearbook, never. So, I mean, it wasn't just being on camera, it was even having just a picture taken. So I completely identify. There are several shifts that we can make to make it feel comfortable. One of the ones I will say, as an introvert, Karen can attest to this, a lot of people, when you think about the fact that in reality, when you're on camera, that camera can be one person. It's so much easier to be on camera when you're not thinking about being in a big room, speaking in front of hundreds or thousands of people in a room, right? I have done that. It's terrifying. It's so much easier to look at that camera and think of that camera as having a one-on-one conversation. which is what we really want you to do. That's what your customers, that's what your leads want you to do. They want you to have a conversation with them. And we teach you everything you need to be able to do that. Rita is here. Oh my gosh, Rita could probably add some in here that will be super valuable to you. But you've already taken the action steps to get you over this hurdle, to make the mindset shift. So you're already on your way. You just need a little more time, a little more practice, and eventually you get to the point where you actually enjoy it. I know that's hard to believe, but you will. It happens to all of our artists. We've had artists that have huge phobias about even going out in public. And now being on camera is one of their favorite things to do, because they've been able to make the shifts around why they're doing it and how they can connect with their customer. Rita, do you have anything you want to add?
No, you're spot on. And I was just going to say that, it is a lot easier to talk to a camera than it is to a room full of people. And you just can, just like you pretend that's your person, that's your friend that you're talking to. And it does get easier, but we just have to do it. And there's a lot of tips. It's not like we're not throwing you out there blind and you don't know what to talk about. There is a whole ginormous list of ideas in the Art Boss Builder about things that you could talk about, topics you can do, what you can, and everybody's different, so you pick the ones that feel comfortable to you. And everything is about that, whatever you feel comfortable with, that's what you're going to present. And then they feel comfortable and then they want to watch because they want to see you.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
It's so true.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're I'm gonna grab, we have two more hands come up, Sarah and then Paulina. So I'm gonna grab you two before we head out, but I want to let you guys know we're here for you and we know that you still have questions. So we're offering those clarity calls for a reason. Okay. We're not about pushing a sale on you guys. Okay. We know that the way we show up with you guys and serve you is just directly reflects how much we care about you. And if you want to continue to work with us, you guys work with us. But that clarity call is designed to get you to what you need to be working on next. If you want to go ahead and research it and find someone else to serve you in that area, that we understand. Okay. But if you want to work with us, we have a variety of different products and services that we can show you. Okay. We're showing you full transformation because we know everything that I talked to you guys about yesterday is about getting you the full transformation. If you're still like, I'm not sure 6 figures is possible for anyone, then I tell you in the room, there are people who are making 6 figures. We help them make another 6 figures just by learning how to leverage the online market and build that system around it. Okay. So if you're still here and not grabbing a call, that call's free. Okay. It's like crazy not to. Okay. So I'm not just talking to like the folks who have asked questions. I'm actually really talking to the folks who still haven't I'm calling you out. Okay. Undone their cameras yet. This is serving you by getting you to the place where you're like, okay, this is a safe place. Right. So let me go ahead and grab Sarah first, and then I'm going to get Paulina, you're up on deck. And then we're going to head down and we're going to close it today. Tomorrow, I'm going to be running another one of these. So you can show up tomorrow as well if you have questions for tomorrow. Okay, we'll be doing the same kind of format. All right, Sarah.
Thank you, Karen. I hear you about the video, but I've actually got COVID, so I'm just really feeling like I want to keep off camera today.
You're allowed. But that's the difference between in our program. When someone keeps their camera off, we're actually asking, are you okay?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
So I'm here, but in sound version only. So yeah, my question I've been struggling with for a while is, so I've started painting this year, seriously. I had a show in July. I sold about half of 100 paintings, and yeah, a bit more than half, and some prints, and they're too low priced.
Okay.
So okay, fine. But something that because I've not had a experience like that where loads of people want to buy my paintings before, I don't really understand like this idea of, a lot of, I know you talk about this a bit, but it's like general business advice is like, well, what problem are you solving? And I'm like, I don't know what that means. Like, what are you talking about? What is the pain point of your customer? I don't know. They just seem to like my paintings. I don't really know why. I don't really understand what's going on there. So
Okay.
how can I, if I don't understand that very well, how can I grow, you know, how can I
Mhm.
promote it? How can I increase the prices? So it's kind of around trying to understand the audience better, I guess.
Yeah. Problem to solution. Okay. So I'm going to workshop it a little bit with you because I think this is exactly what we do inside of the program. So this is
Right.
one of those things. We're starting out. Okay. We work
Yeah.
on problem to solution for a whole year. Okay. Refining, getting clearer and clearer on how we can serve our audience. So I want you to think about problem to solution and flip it from like also from selling to serving. That's what I'm helping you guys get to do, because when you're showing up in front of your audience as like someone who serves your client because you know they're happier after they have your painting than before they had your painting, we need to understand what makes that click, what makes them go, I have to have that piece of artwork. And it's not just because it's a pretty painting. I've said this before, people do not buy art because it's pretty. They buy it because they connect with it. How are we going to get them to connect with it? We got to get really clear on our problem to solution. So I know you're like coughing and you have COVID, but can you tell me a little bit about your artwork and start there? We're going to workshop it. Tell me about your product, your artwork.
So this series is mostly A3. They're all on paper. They're made with egg tempera. They're colorful images of goddesses. So it's the goddess.
Let me stop you there. Goddesses, everything you said before, doesn't solve the problem. Okay. Goddesses. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm gonna stop you just so.
Well, that's it. So it's the fact they're goddesses is clearly something that's connecting with people.
Yep.
Some of them are known goddesses like, I don't know, Persephone and stuff. Some of them are basically, I made them up. So the goddess of disappointments, she was quite popular. And some of them are more abstract, but mostly they're pictures of faces, like figurative images.
Okay. All right. So you're at the very beginning where we would start working inside the program to help build out your problem to solution. Just by saying goddess, I hear the word empowerment. I hear power. I hear people who feel in their lives like they don't have control over their own lives, but your painting starts to represent the ability to have control, power, and like be able to drive their life where they want to. Okay. Do you start seeing how your artwork is solving a problem for your ideal client? Not for everybody, not for the guy walking down the street, not for every woman who feels that she's a goddess and needs to like. Do you start to see how you are solving a problem beyond just a picture of a face?
Yeah, so what I'm realizing is they are seeing in those paintings something that inspires them and gives them energy, gives them, like you say, it sort of empowers them because they see themselves in the picture in a really positive way.
Mm-hmm. So that's when this is where we start. Would be if you're inside the program, you just got a 10-minute training inside of the program.
Yeah.
Okay. But
yeah.
But you're not done. Okay. We're not done yet because
No.
we have to build out all the messaging, all the posting, all the emails, all the ways that find that person so that when we give that message to that person, we're walking them down the path to the sale. Okay. So it is at the base of what we do, the problem to solution. So many times when people go, I don't understand this. I don't know if I have my right client. I don't know if I have my right price. I always start with, what's your problem to solution? This is where we start every time. Okay.
Yeah.
Powerful, super powerful, just like your goddess, super powerful. Shauna, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I just love it. I'm like, what female doesn't want to be a goddess? I mean, hello. I think that's fantastic.
Perfect. Awesome. So I know, like, grab a call with us, Sarah. Maybe you want to wait till next week if that's something you want to do. I will. I don't have like I only have 3 days out right now. Like that's all my schedule's out. Send me
Yeah.
a message if you want to grab a call, and I'll get you on my calendar ahead of time so you don't miss those opportunities. Being in England, you probably want a morning spot because I'm awake in the morning when you're awake in the afternoon,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
just message me. Okay. We'll get that going for when you feel better.
Thank you so much. That'd be amazing.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All
Thank
right.
you.
So I'm going to go ahead and grab Paulina, and then we're going to head out for the day. Remember, we're going to do this again tomorrow because this is about moving your businesses forward and really uncovering what you guys need to do next. Okay. So that you can close those sales. We want you to close those sales. Paulina, girl. Where are
Hi,
you?
hi everybody.
There you
It's
are. Hey.
nice to see faces after spending the week with you. And I was on a call yesterday with Karen, so I already got some great coaching. So I just am piggybacking on what Monica was talking about, because what came up in our call was, selling live right off of the piece that you're working on and doing, working towards that launch. And over the night, in the evening, and this morning, I was thinking about like, okay, I'm an extroverted introvert, right? So I'm like mostly introverted, but then I have this sort of camouflaging that I can do to appear like I'm charismatic. And then I have to shut down for like a day and a half, right? So it's like I teach for an hour and a half and I'm the center of attention, and then I am wiped out. So when you asked Monica, I think it was Monica, about what are these like, and suddenly I started to get dread around this fact that like the weekend, oh my God, what would that be like? And I don't mind, give me 4 hours or like 2 hours on one day and 3 hours on the other, but I'm committed and I'm in, so I'll find out, more will be revealed. But if you could help lessen my anxiety about it by giving sort of an envelope of like, what does that actually look like? Because I know that's one of the main benefits, is being able to do a quarterly event. Like that's the prom. So, what does that look like?
Okay, let's do that. So great question, especially for those of us who are introverts or extroverted introverts, right? I love that. It's you bridge. You're like, I'm claiming it all. And Paulina's
Gemini,
like, I'm claiming
man.
it all. So, so I don't want you to get overwhelmed with the concept of like you're live and on all the time during the weekend. You have one live that you're doing every day for 3 days. Okay. It's about kicking in it's about kicking in the algorithm. It's about making sure more people see what you're doing during that time period. It's not about like just doing the work and not having anyone ever see your artwork. We're working with Facebook in one of the only platforms that does allow for us to engage and be able to kick in an algorithm. Okay. So some artists go live for 15 minutes, 3 days in a row. And then they're inside, like, we show you how to find your leads, show you how to find your hot leads, who you need to be talking to, what you need to be messaging to them based on where they are in your selling system. If they just came in an hour ago and you're like, hey, I saw you like that painting, do you want to buy it? It's a different conversation. You can't do that. But if they've been watching what you're doing for a month and commenting on that piece of artwork all the time, now you're going to be giving a different message to that person. You can be more direct and be like, don't miss out. I'm pretty sure this one's going. Right. So don't worry that you're like, have to be 100% on camera the whole entire selling weekend. But the idea is, instead of having to do that every day of the week, 365 days a year, having to be on and having to be full force, we now just do it once a quarter, close our sales in a weekend, and then walk away with 100, 200 leads that you're closing for the rest of until you launch again. So it's a process that we're teaching how to do this. And it's a lot of people, but I want to sell every day. I'm like, well, so do I. I want to close sales every day, but I don't want to have to be launching at high, octane every single day.
Yeah.
I want to
Well,
add
that's
to that.
very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. And I want to add to that, Pauline, we do understand that it requires a lot of energy to be able to do that. And we do have training on that in the sales psychology part of the program, where we talk about how to, I call it power of state. How do you re-energize yourself? How do you get yourself geared up to be able to do that? And then be able to manage, right? Be able to pace yourself throughout that weekend. And it's a skill that you'll learn. We'll teach you.
Cool.
Perfect.
Well, thank you. It's so nice to be here today. Thank you.
You are welcome. It was so good to see you too. So, all right, we're gonna close it down for today. Tomorrow will be another hour of the same type of training. If you have specific questions, this is for people who watch in replay. I'm also gonna post the link to the Q&A link in when I post this, because this is gonna be available for replay for folks who are sleeping. Got a lot of folks and clients in New Zealand, Australia, and Singapore who are watching in replay. You're more than welcome to post your question inside of that question stream, and I'll be able to answer them. If you can't show up, it's okay, we understand. But if you're able to join us tomorrow, that would even be better, because then we can do some deep dives and we can really dig into some of these things. So awesome. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. And don't forget, grab a call with us. If you can't find that link, at least just post it in the group and say, I can't find the call link. We'll get it to you. Okay. All right. Awesome. You have a great one. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.